Hey, BassGeek here, and today we're going to check out some underwater footage and do some testing of my 5 go-to swim baits. That's right, guys, we're going to start an underwater bait series. So I've got a little pool out here in my backyard. We're going to shoot some of it there. We're going to shoot some of it out on the lake, which is going to allow us, especially for those bottom bouncing baits, you know, to be able to get into those sort of rocks and, you know, your crankbaits, to be able to bounce them off of those, that cover. So we're going to get it in as true of a situation as we can. Now the swim baits, of course, you know, we're just going to go ahead and give me a good reason to get in my pool today, since it is steamy hot out here. And we're going to test out my favorite 5 swim bait brands. These are the 5 that I always have in my boat this type of year. And that's, of course, the Bassmunitions. It's the Scottsboro tackle. Now those two are hollow belly swim baits, which means they're a solid swim bait. They've just got a hook slot in each one. And then we're going to go to what I call the hollow body. Now these are completely hollow. This is the Zoom Swimmer. We're going to try the Strike King Shadowlicious, and we're also going to try the basstrix swim bait out. Now, so here's kind of where I'm going. I haven't tested this yet, so you guys are going to see pretty much raw footage. And this test may work and it may not. You know, your opinions are welcome on how we can do things. But what I really want to do with this first underwater footage is kind of get what I call the raw swimming action of each bait. So in other words, I don't want a jig head that's going to maybe impart action, or a belly weighted hook that's maybe going to impart action by design of the jig head or belly weight. What I want is the raw, unadulterated, as much as we can keep any sort of interference from anything other than the swim bait. I want to see that raw action. So this may work and it may not. We may prove something here, we may disprove something, we may prove nothing at all. Now I know a lot of these baits are designed to be on some sort of swim bait head. Now that's something I'm going to ask you guys. Of course we're going to test out the ledge head swim bait head, but any other swim bait heads that you guys like to use. Now we'll do, you know, some underspins and that sort of stuff later, but straight swim bait head. So I'm going to go on Tackle Warehouse. I'm going to buy a couple of packs of their top sellers, right? And we're going to use those. We're going to put those to test. But any other swim bait head that you guys have, if it gets the most votes in the comment section below, I'll go ahead and buy a pack or 2 of those. So the 2 right off the top of my head that I can think about, of course, we're going to try the ledge head, which is the only one I use. I think by far it's the best swim bait head on the market. But we're also going to try just what I call the standard acorn style head. So let's talk about kind of the setup that I've got going here. So I've got 15-pound test line. That's what I always use, fluorocarbon. I've actually just got it tied to the tip here, and I can kind of adjust the length. But I've got that going to a double peg so it doesn't move, 1/8 ounce weight. And then down to that, we're tied to a straight 5/0 hook. So what we're basically going to do is I'm going to get in the pool and I'm going to kind of drag this around to try and get the natural swimming action of the bait unencumbered by any jig head or belly weight. So this may work, it may not. We're going to try it at slow speed, and we're going to see how fast you have to get this bait to moving to actually be able to get it to wiggle its tail. All right, let's jump in the pool and let's see what we can do. Okay, so did we learn anything from this? I think we set a base speed and a base action for most of these baits. Really, guys, and like I said, these are the 5 go-tos that are in my boat or tackle bag all the time. If I think a swim bait bite, you know, that 5-6 inch swim bait bite is going to be on, these are the baits that are my go-to. But I really have to say, as far as hands down slow, really any speed, I think the Bassmunitions really kind of won this round. Now, like I said, I know most of these are designed for some sort of weighted head. So in the description below, make sure you tell me your favorite swim bait head. Now here's the caveat, we've got to have them identical. So it's got to be at least a 5 or 6 aught hook. I prefer 6, but we can go with 5. I've kind of looked around and I know most people put the 5 aught hook, and I'll tell you why I don't like that later. So a 5 aught hook, 1/2 ounce head, that's the deal. So if you're using them, you've got a favorite, put it down there. I know we're going to pull out maybe whatever the most popular is on Tackle Warehouse. We're going to test those. We're going to put them up beside the standard acorn style head, and we're going to put them beside the standard, or my favorite, which is the ledge head. We're going to see how that actually affects the action of these baits. Now later on, we'll even do belly weighted hooks. So we'll get 2 or 3 brands of those, same hook, same weight, etc., etc., and we'll test these same 5 swim baits. I'm going to set these 5 swim baits aside. We're going to use the same exact 5 swim baits. Now, if I had a takeaway from this, me personally, and I haven't watched the footage yet, it really did seem like at higher speeds most of the baits work. Now that may be offset by weight once we get into that portion of this kind of study that we're doing. But you know, as I always say, I like a swim bait that is going to move at slower speeds and going to have good action at slower speeds, not be dead. Now it could be because we don't have enough weight. Again, we're going to find all this stuff out. Any suggestions on changes I should have made to this or ways I should have tried it, let me know. But again, remember, we're looking for in this video base uninhibited by head or weight. We're looking for base swim bait action. So as close as we can get to that swim bait, basically if it was a live fish swimming by itself, what would it look like? So we don't want to inhibit it with extra weight. Of course, you know, we kind of have to get most of them to swim, because every single one of these float, by the way. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. We're going to keep going. So remember, swim bait head, name your favorite swim bait head, 5 aught, 1/2 ounce weight. Okay, has to come in that. And then name some baits you'd like to see us either pool test or lake test out under water. I know I've got several in mind. All right, as always, guys, questions, comments in the comment section below. You guys know I love to talk about fishing with you. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so you get these notifications, guys. You guys watching these videos is huge to helping the channel grow. Literally just watching the videos helps the channel grow. And as always, you guys rock.